Hey Fire fans, welcome back. It's me, Logan Sama, in the hot seat here for esports.gg, and we are taking a look once again at some Street Fighter V action. This past weekend, it was the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 Japan 3, the third qualifier for their Capcom Cup placements. And this time round, it was the legend himself, Daigo, who dominated with his guile and secured the spot. We're going to be taking a look at that right now. The Capcom Pro Tour Japan events are always stacked with a proliferation of world-class talent entering each and every time, fighting it out for those precious few spots at the Capcom Cup finals. We're going to be taking a look at the grand final, which saw Daigo face against one of his young proteges, Kawano, in a Guile versus Colleen matchup that we have seen played before, but never at this level. Daigo and Kawano have a storied history, although their history in competitive play is not as extensive. They've never met before in a Capcom Pro Tour top 8 bracket, which means there's a lot still to be learned about this matchup between these two players. And whilst there is not a lot of Capcom Pro Tour head-to-heads, one of the hypest moments of last year came when these two met in the Craze for Camelot 2v2 team event, which saw this incredible moment from Daigo. Daigo singled out Kawano for greatness early on in his career. The young player moved to Tokyo, and Daigo spotted immediately that he had promise. Drafting Kawano onto his Daigo Umehara Gold team for last season's Street Fighter League Japan, Kawano impressed with his innovative Colleen playstyle. Kawano, though, has certainly shone on his own and has forged ahead this season in the Good 8 squad, leaving Daigo's team behind. Drafted by Gachikun alongside Pugera and Kichipama, the Good 8 squad sit at the top of the Street Fighter League rankings as we go to press at the moment, with Daigo's Beast Mildon team floundering a little bit this season. Online head-to-heads seem to give Daigo a very clear advantage in the Guile Colleen matchup, which is why in the first set in Winner's Top 8 side, we saw Kawano make an interesting pick of opting for Vega. There's a few reasons he went for this. Colleen specifically has a lot of problems trying to navigate Guile's sonic booms and projectiles in general. She doesn't have a lot of tools outside of V-Trigger and CA to get around projectiles effectively. And whilst Vega maintains that great ground game with his claw normals, he also has the EX roll, which allows him to get safely through projectiles and only be -2. We also saw a lot of use of V-Shift break from Vega, and we're going to see a lot of that later on in this grand finals. However, that pick did not work out, as you will see, and Daigo cruised to a 3-0 victory, putting him in prime position in this grand finals on the winner's side.
Oh my god, he ran into the fireball! Come on, dude.
So, with the stage set, let's take a look at these grand finals. Kawano, of course, tried the Vega experiment, it didn't work, and he went back to Colleen. Now, here's a spoiler, he did manage to reset this first grand final set. This would be a very short video if he hadn't done. So let's take a look at what Kawano was trying to implement in this set. Kawano approached this matchup generally with two distinct tempos. That's when he did have the resources to deal with projectiles and when he had to play a game without them. Now, he's using V-Trigger 2, which means he has access to Frost Edge. This is particularly fast on startup. I think it's about 13 frames. So this means if he stands at the right range, he can absolutely react to Guile's Sonic Boom startup and punish it, get a knockdown, and begin his offense. And he is more than capable of also using the critical art on reaction to Guile's Sonic Boom as well, as we did see in this set. Now, they're very limited resources, and he did not have access to those very often. So the second phase that he was playing in was a more buffer-based phase. Now, he was using the walk speed that Colleen has to get inside of ranges at which he could whiff standing light kick and standing medium punch and automatically buffer a cancel into a special move, hoping to catch the start up of Guile's attacks. The reason that he was playing in this way is because basically for Colleen, the win condition in this matchup is to take Guile to the corner and throw him to death. Once he was able to get Daigo into the corner, he had a number of other tools that he was using as well. V-shift break is something I pointed out in the Vega matchup, and it's something that he used a great deal with Colleen. If he can react to the Sonic Boom and get the V-shift break, it causes a knockdown, which normally would not be close enough for Colleen to get any pressure afterwards to follow up. However, in the corner, it is.
For the Capcom Cup.
You know what I'm
because
saying?
again, those two are... and he's doing it. He's going with the Colleen.
You can see here very early on that Daigo has a great answer to the V-shift break with a V-shift of his own and a punish here in the corner.
Oh, no.
You see the strength of the corner pressure here, Kawano with the back throw and then the combo into the CA, closing it out for a big damage turnaround and the round.
1-1.
I like that.
Great comeback there for Kawano.
Whilst Gull only has 2 special moves, Daigo was very, very comfortable utilizing normals as anti-airs, as you'll see here.
He spent that bar on the V-shift and oh!
He wasn't relying on flash kick as an anti-air at all, and also went to air throws. The air throw is an incredible tool because it gives Gull really great Oki and allows Daigo to then turn defense into offense, which is something Gull doesn't frequently get the opportunity to do mid-screen. With Daigo 1-0 up in Grand Finals and looking to make it 2-0, he was happy to take all of the risks. The risk reward for Guile is incredibly good if he lands EX Flash Kick because it means that he sends Colleen all the way across the screen and she has to then navigate again through the Sonic Booms. Here is one of the rare occasions in which Kawano was able to effectively bait out that EX reversal. I think the only one in both of these sets. But you can see the great reward he got from it here. Both of these guys are swinging on Wake Up. You saw Daigo with the EX Flash Kick there. He went for a Wake Up back throw, Wake Up buttons from Kawano, and Wake Up buttons again from Daigo. There was no respect on the Oki from both of these players.
It's still the first set, but clearly the Colleen. All right, here we go. Look at this.
In order to win this first set, Kawano had to pull out all the stops, and it looks over here when Daigo activates the V trigger, dashes up and gets the throw reset, but he's still alive, has to block a couple of booms, and he is left on pixel health remaining, but somehow he manages to get in. He identifies that Daigo is looking to walk outside of that range. He goes all in with the sweep, cancels the first hit into the EX Parabellum. There's the CA, and that is it. A great comeback from Kawano to make it 2-1. This incredible first set went all the way down to final game, final round, and Kawano desperate to close this one out. He has got a significant life disadvantage, but he has got Daigo in the corner. He manages to get that hit. There is the stun, and he's going to be able to close it out just with the throw.
The reset has happened. Kawano has brought it back to 0-0. Daigo has not made it into Capcom Cup just yet.
Kawano really had to pull out all the stops there, and really Daigo was able to just download as much information as he could from that set going into the reset bracket. It's back to 0-0. We've got a stage change. Let's take a look now at how Daigo opens up this first game. Kawano has already taken the first round, but here we go. Daigo with the air throw. Catches him again with the upside down kick, and the stun is there. The sweep, and what a statement going into this reset grand finals. No, sir. It's not going to be your day today. Hold that perfect.
Resources. Daigo coming into this next round here. What a great round to start.
Daigo really made it incredibly difficult for Kawano to play his game plan, which of course is as soon as he gets the resources, wait for that boom. As soon as he saw on the screen the danger signs, that glowing V gauge, that triple glowing EX bar, the Sonic Boom stopped. Here you see Daigo mid-screen with a life lead. He has no reason to give Kawano the opportunity to use that Frost Edge and get a knockdown and free Oki. He will not be throwing a boom here for about 10 full game seconds. In the end, it forces Kawano to use up that V-trigger to dash in. And here you start seeing Daigo utilizing these very hard reads on defense, these hard offensive defensive reads. He blocks the light kick after the dash and then walks forward and throws Kawano. The type of proactive reads that Daigo is making here, he's in a situation where the throw will kill him. Kawano knows that the throw will kill him. He knows that Daigo knows the throw will kill him. So he's looking to bait the throw. Daigo just walks up and throws him. It sounds crazy, but it's really a genius read in that situation, because he's accurately predicted you trying to predict him. Perfect example of calling Kawano's bluff. Next up, I'm going to take a look at one of the moments that went around the world on Twitter. This was definitely a viral moment, the viral moment from the tournament this weekend. But it started a lot earlier than the clip that you saw. Daigo is one of the best at utilizing every single pixel of his health. He is never out for the count, and he will make you work for every single hit. Every single round you need to close out. Let's take a little bit earlier than the clip that we saw online and look at this moment here. Now, Daigo is in the corner, the counter hit, the stun is racking up, and realistically, Kawano has to use this V-trigger activation. He's not got the resources for an EX combo. He leaves Daigo alive on a pixel. He needs another turn. Daigo, looking at the corner of his screen, has all of the resources he needs to make a comeback. Immediately lets off the flash kick because he knows that Kawano wants to close this out. That means he's still in the game, and he goes back to playing this boom. He goes for the sweep activation, which means he is in control, gets the crush counter, but doesn't have the CA to follow it up with. Again, using the booms, he's got the EX booms and the V triggers. He's used all of that up now. Backs off, no shimmy attempt again, he refuses, and that is what lit up the internet. Daigo refusing to let you be in control of his decisions. The reason he used the EX flash kick there, by the way, is none of Gal's flash kicks normal have any throw invincibility. Some of them are airborne after a few frames, some of them are anti-air invincible, but none of them are natively throw invincible like many dragon punches are in the game. He went all in with that EX flash kick. It got everyone hype, but it was a very smart decision in that instance. He knew that Kawano wanted to close it out, and then he advances up into space in which Kawano wants to control with the Soback kick, hops out again, and closes the round out, and that is a heartbreaker for Kawano. We know Daigo does a ton of work in the lab. A ton of work in the lab. His situational awareness is par excellence. He is one of the best researchers in the game when he puts that time and effort into a matchup. He has definitely put the time and effort into this matchup as well, because here in this situation, you're going to take a look at Colleen in the corner. She's pressuring Guile. She's got that pseudo throw loop. And if you look really carefully, she doesn't quite leave Guile in the corner. After this second one, Daigo walks back, crouching medium punch, V-trigger activation, and you know what's coming up next. And that's just why Daigo is one of the best. That awareness there to know that it's safely, he can just hold back and walk back into that corner. There's not a huge amount of risk there for the low. He holds back, he walks out of the throw, but when the throw comes, he's ready to capitalize. He has put that work in. Daigo levels it up, and we go into set point. And this is, for me, just a great display of how strong this guy is at the moment. Guano looks to make the comeback with the V-trigger, gets the corner control. Daigo immediately tries to jump out, but he gets anti-aired, and now he's back to medium screen. Again, he walks back a little pixel of space after that throw attempt, and he's back in the game. We're level here, and we're in this situation. Kawano has to block these booms. He tries to answer it. I think it's the startup of a vanity step. Whatever it is, he gets caught, and then he's in a guess for game situation because he has to block this mix-up. Of course, we all know what happens. He guessed wrong, the empty jump low into the flash kick, and that's all she wrote. Daigo 3-0, and Daigo Umehara is going to Capcom Cup once again. If my records are correct, Daigo is one of the only players that has been to every single Capcom Cup since its inception, and this display in Grand Finals is exactly why. I hope you've enjoyed our breakdown today, but don't forget, of course, you can catch much more incredible content on esports.gg on YouTube and esports on social media, so check that out. And of course, I'll see you next time for more Street Fighter 5 breakdowns. It's been an absolute pleasure enjoying this great Daigo gameplay. Oh, wait a minute. I knew there was something else I meant to talk about. But I'm not qualified to talk about this. Let's speak to someone who is.
Yo, Pink here, and I'm pretty much want to explain to y'all about this power of the durag. I know y'all seen Daigo wearing the durag, you know. Daigo probably trying to tap into that secret power that only I, Pink, have tapped into. So, you know, it's very strong, but it's very dangerous, Daigo. So I need him to even know that you got to be careful when using the power of the durag, Daigo. Okay? You can't just be doing that. But to all his opponents, y'all will never beat him. He is going to be the strongest player he's ever been. And I promise you, he will never lose again.
You know, a part of me wants to say that I can understand why you would doubt Daigo. I'm aware that Street Fighter V is not necessarily yesteryear when Daigo was at what some would consider to be his peak. But I'll tell you what, I do not understand how someone could doubt Dume. That's what we call him where I'm from, where me and Daigo is from, the trenches, the streets. We call him Dume because of course, obviously, Durag and Umehara, and also because it's Daigo and Umehara together, so we call him Dume. But don't call him that because I said we call him that, not you guys, you're doubters. Never again doubt Durag Umehara. It's a different beast.